Within 10 seconds of entering the wrecked car, Hulk is shot.
July 2022, near the Jacksonville Zoo. What started as a call for aggravated assault quickly spiraled into one of the most aggressive canine deployments in recent memory.
Is released into the vehicle.
Reports of shots fired had officers on high alert as they cornered two suspects in a wooded area. Among the officers was Canine Hulk, a veteran of the force. When the suspects refused to surrender and the situation turned deadly, Hulk was sent in to neutralize the threat. But as Hulk closed the distance, the suspects opened fire. In the intense exchange of gunfire, both suspects were killed.
Only one survived,
but the victory came at a heavy cost. Canine Hulk had been shot.
Dead from the shootout. This handgun was recovered by police in addition to this.
This is where Hulk's story truly begins. He was airlifted to a specialized trauma center where surgeons worked for hours to stabilize him.
There it is, being airlifted to the veterinary clinic
despite
moments after he was shot.
Hulk
Just
fought
honored
through
the
months
clinic
of physical therapy. He didn't just survive, he showed the world what a hero's resilience looks like.
Okay, but has another surgery coming up soon.
And then he'll be about 2 more months. And then rehabilitation, you know.
Today, Hulk is officially retired, trading his badge for a life of belly rubs and well-deserved rest.
It's not every day that you hear a story about a police dog diving 30 feet in an attempt to catch a suspect. Mattis, an Alpharetta police canine, did.
Alpharetta, Georgia, a routine traffic stop for a suspected car thief turned into a high-stakes manhunt. The suspect fled into a pitch-black wooded area, thinking he could disappear. But he didn't realize who was on his trail. Enter K9 Mattis, a powerhouse Belgian Malinois known for his relentless drive. When the suspect reached a massive retaining wall, he thought he'd found an escape.
Where the incident occurred, they say Mattis went over this railing and dropped 30 feet, falling on the suspect.
Without a moment's hesitation, Mattis followed. He launched himself over the 30-foot drop, landing directly on top of the suspect.
My heart was following with him as he was going over that wall.
This is Mattis and his trainer.
It was a brutal, aggressive takedown that ended the chase instantly. But the impact was devastating. Mattis had sustained massive internal injuries, including a lacerated liver. Even in agony, he kept his grip until his handler could make the arrest. The tactical mission was over, but Mattis's toughest fight was just beginning. Doctors weren't sure if he'd ever walk again, let alone return to duty. But Mattis is no ordinary dog. Through months of intense physical therapy and the unwavering support of Sergeant Burton, Mattis did the impossible. He returned to full duty for several more years, becoming a symbol of resilience for law enforcement across the globe. Today, he's enjoying a legendary retirement, proving that there is life and a lot of joy after the badge. Christmas Eve, 2018. While families finished their holiday shopping at the Wellington Green Mall in Palm Beach County, a tactical unit was closing in on two dangerous fugitives.
We got two very dangerous people off the street. Unfortunately, it took the life of one of our dogs.
In the face.
This wasn't a routine stop. These were suspects wanted for attempted murder, and they were cornered. As the suspects attempted to flee through the crowded parking lot, the order was given. Saigo was deployed for an aggressive takedown to prevent the armed men from reaching the mall entrance. Saigo was a blur of fur and muscle, closing the distance in seconds. He successfully intercepted one of the suspects, but as he did, the second criminal opened fire. Saigo took multiple rounds, but he never let go. His aggression in those final moments kept the shooter distracted just long enough for deputies to return fire and end the threat. No officers or civilians were harmed, but the cost of that safety was heartbreaking.
And everybody just started running. Everybody was hiding under the tables.
Saigo did not survive that afternoon. He died a hero on the pavement of a shopping mall. Saigo's story didn't end in that parking lot. His death sparked a national conversation about the protection of these four-legged warriors. The life after for Saigo is the lives of thousands of other canines who are now protected because of the awareness his story raised. He became a symbol of the ultimate sacrifice, ensuring his name would never be forgotten by those who wear the badge. This case is the reason we talk so much about Kevlar vests in our videos. At the time of this shootout, Saigo was not wearing a ballistic vest. Since that day, the Palm Beach County Sheriff's Office and hundreds of others have made it their mission to vest every single dog. Many of you argue that every dog should wear one, but as we've discussed, the heat and weight are always factors.
Why not always wear them?
Probably the biggest downfall of this is the fact that the dogs don't cool themselves the way that humans cool themselves.
Saigo's legacy proves that when the bullets start flying, that gear is the only thing that gives them a fighting chance. Does Saigo's story change your mind about canine gear?
And they get overheated, and sometimes our scouts will last up to an hour, hour and a half. And with the vest on, the dogs can't make it that long.
Should vests be mandatory, even in the summer heat?
Deadly shooting spree that started in a Chicago neighborhood came to an end at the Benson Corners gas station in Bristol.
Kenosha County, Wisconsin. A high-stakes pursuit of a murder suspect was coming to a violent end at a busy gas station. The suspect was armed and had already proven he was willing to kill. As he tried to hijack another vehicle to escape, deputies knew they had to act instantly. The command was given. K9 Riggs was deployed for an aggressive takedown. He didn't hesitate, launching himself at the suspect to prevent him from reaching innocent civilians. As K9 Riggs closed in, the suspect fired a single shot. The bullet struck Riggs directly in the forehead. Even after being hit, Riggs didn't stop until the suspect was neutralized. He had fulfilled his mission. But as he lay on the pavement, his handlers feared the worst. The most aggressive takedown had ended in what looked like the ultimate sacrifice. Against all odds, the bullet missed Riggs's brain by mere millimeters. He didn't just survive, he thrived. Just 2 days after being shot in the head, Riggs walked out of the veterinary hospital on his own four paws to a hero's welcome.
K9 Riggs the Purple Heart and Silver Star for his service.
Riggs represents the absolute peak of canine resilience. He was eventually retired with full honors, trading his badge for a life of safety and steak dinners. K9 Riggs's recovery was a miracle, but it reignites a fierce debate. Why don't all canines have head protection? While we talk a lot about Kevlar vests for the body, a bullet to the head is often a death sentence. Equipping canines with Kevlar vests, fancy helmets with face shields and ear protection could become the new norm. But in a tactical takedown, can a dog still perform with that extra weight? Should canine battle helmets become standard gear for every aggressive deployment? Let's hear your take in the comments.